Introduction. The largest classic of the universal literature recounted and transformed in the largest success of the juvenile literature. Presentation. Due to the great success, the series Reencontro starts to count with a specific catalog. Here you will find all the titles of the series, including the last releases, totaling 40 excellent reading options for students of first and second degrees. From your release, in 1984, the series Reencontro is enlarging not only the number of titles, as well as the number of readers and the one of prizes. That reflects the extraordinary acceptance on the part of teachers, students, and of the market editorial in general, what was only possible thanks to a serious and competent work that recounts the largest classic of the universal literature in an accessible and pleasant language, that stimulates and it captures the reader. Completing the attractions, each book of the series Reencontro still brings an introduction with the author's biography, placing him/it in your historical context, basic information on the writer that adapted the work and reading record to enlarge the understanding of the text. Without a doubt, the series has everything to provide a reencontro of the most pleasant between the reader and the best world literature. The Divine Comedy. Dante takes a trip beyond to the world of the. Guided by the poet Virgilio, he/she knows the hell and the purgatory, and then, guided by Beatrice, it visits the paradise. Along the course, Dante finds several known and he/she talks with some of them. The hell is one it is worth, in the bowels of the earth, formed by several circles that are leaving a funilando, the more below they are, larger the sins of those souls that there suffer such great supplicios. They find the convicts for the addictions of the meat, the ones that abused of the wealth, the ones that she let to expire for the anger, the heretics, homicides, tyrants, corrupt, hypocrites, thieves, traitors. Until that come across Satan, that has 3 faces and only 1 head and enormous bat wings. They leave the hell and they go up the mountain of the purgatory. They go by the anti-purgatorio and later for 7 circles, that correspond to the 7 sins capitals: gluttony, superb, angers, he/she envies, lust, laziness and avarice, where the souls, in prayer, become purified of the made sins. There they are, the superb spirits, the envious souls, the ones that expiate the sin of the anger, the negligent ones, the greedy ones of being able to and of wealth, the lustful ones. In the exit, Dante takes a bath in sacred waters, leaving absolved of all the blames and spiritually renewed, heading for the paradise. Accompany him in that second stage of the trip and discover what he found for there. The Mexican. Mexico. Beginning of the century 19. Porfirio Diaz, corrupt tyrant, promotes fraudulent elections and he is reelected president of the country. Francisco Madero, leader of the opposition, defeated in the urns, it publishes a book demanding clean elections and, for that, it is arrested. Taking refuge in Texas, United States of America, Madero throws the Plan São Luís Potosí, demanding the renouncement of Diaz and free elections. It is the beginning of the Mexican Revolution, 1910 to 1917. Felipe Rivera, the Mexican, main character of the work, are an 18-year-old boy. It represents small, of behavior irredio, quiet, but I attempt and distrustful, that demonstrates patriotic fanaticism. He/she/you asks the boss of the Committee of Recruitment, Paulino Vera, to work for the revolution. At first, the members of the committee distrust that Rivera is spy of Diaz. Your life was wrapped up in great mystery. Very quiet, nobody knows anything about him. Obstinate, it always gets the dollars and the gold that the necessary committee to continue the revolution. Rivera sometimes disappears. When he/she appears again, all hurt, he/she always brings dollars for the committee. He/she/you accomplishes the most impossible tasks, the heroicest and fearless facts. But which is your secret? Where does it come, the money, and why Rivera from he/she always appears? Bruce. Treasure Island. Bill, a man of the sea, old and drunk, stays in an isolated hotel's in Ho, to the seashore. Pursued by pirates, it receives one day a code, the black sign, and, nervous, he/she has a fulminant attack. The boy Jim and your mother discover a bundle among the belongings of the guest. Jim shows him/it to Lord Trelawney, and they verify that is treated of the map of the feared pirates' treasure flint. The Lord prepares an expedition for the island marked in the map. They leave. In the trip, Jim discovers that the crew is composed of pirates. They are directed by the board cook, Silver, that was immediate of Flint, and now he/she wants to put the hands in the treasure. Jim disembarks with the pirates, but it escapes for the interior of the island. Your friends disembark later and they settle there in a fence existent. In your adventures, Jim finds Ben Gunn, an abandoned pirate in the island. There are some years for your figurantes. The fence falls in the pirates' hands, that also take possession of the map. When Jim arrives, prisoner is made. The pirates are going to the marked place and they verify that the treasure was already retired. Who would with he be? Won't Jim's adventure have reward? Don Quixote. The immortal history of the horsemen of the sad illustration, and your faithful squire Sancho Panza in search of a world that only exists in your imagination. The masterpiece of Cervantes, one of the most important books of the universal literature, is a poem about the idealism in confrontation with a reality where no longer the kindness and the purity fit. King Arthur and Round Tavola's Horsemen. The fascinating history of the legendario King Arthur enchants readers of all the ages. There are almost 1,000 years. The island of Avalon, the fairy Morgana, Lancelot, they are whole in this volume, that contains complete information on the origin of the myth that surrounds Arthur's name and the birth of the cavalry soap operas. Lusíadas. The trips of Vasco of Gama in search of the marine road for India, the Portuguese history from the fight against the Moors invaders, that understands each other invader in the European conception, and the consolidation of the Portuguese state to the great navigations. Odisseia. Epic poem brilliantly adapted in prose for the series Reencontro, it counts the trip of the Greek hero Ulysses, after the electric outlet of Troia, and your return to the kingdom of Ithaca, after a lingering absence. He/she/you narrates your fantastic adventures, offering an enchanter image of the Greek soul. Robinson Crusoe. The history of the most famous shipwreck of the universal literature. An adventurous navigator is forced to stay 28 years in a deserted island. A civilized man that, subordinating the nature to your own intelligence, he/she starts to survive with relative comfort, until the savages that devour enemies in macabre rituals appear. The dream of a summer night. Amid the shades and to the magic of a summer night, in a forest populated by strangers to be, a transverse dwarf confuses the people to who it should bewitch, provoking misunderstandings and funny situations. Trips of Gulliver. Impelled by your adventurous spirit, a doctor rushes to the sea and it accomplishes several trips, contributing in unusual lands, a country inhabited by dwarfs, for giants, a flying island and the incredible earth of the intelligent horses. Robin Hood. A thief? A thief? Or an upright one? In medieval England, Robin Hood assaulted the rich ones to distribute with the poor, defending them of the powerful ones and of the unjust laws. Legend or fact, reality, or does it fantasize? The 1001 Nights. In distant Persia, a sultan condemns your brides to the death after the night of nuptials. Beautiful Scheherazade throws hand of a plan to save to itself and all the youths of the kingdom. Othello. Admired by many and envied for other, Amour, the valiant general Othello used to challenge the prejudices of the society and she marries Desdemona, a rich senator's of the Republic of Venice daughter. Obsessed by the revenge desire, Iago, second lieutenant ignored by Othello in a promotion, it seeks means of ruining the couple's happiness. Cyrano of Bergerac. Brave, boastful, espadachim, poet and large-nosed, ugly Cyrano loves frivolous Roxana secretly that, for your time, it is passionate for beautiful Cristiano. Being believed unable to attract the youth's love, Cyrano decides to promote the couple's happiness. The Hill of the Wine Zuivant. In a hostile and gloomy scenery, the saga of two tormented families is uncoiled by Heathcliff, a cold man and without scruples. A history of stormy passions and characters impulsive, contradictory and, for that reason, deeply humans. The Cheerful Midwives of Windsor. Conqueror John Falstaff decides to court at the same time Ford and Page, both married. In conformadas with Tamanha Daring, they plan to take revenge of the con man arming a series of confusions. In parallel, Anna, daughter of Hugh Page, sees her to the turns with three candidates. It is formed a net of conquests and intrigues that it involves the characters in a plot of final surprising. The Ghost of Canterville. This book gathers 4 stories of Oscar Wilde, The Ghost of Canterville, The Notable Rocket, The Son of the Star and The Birthday of the Infanta. With a sharp irony sense, the author criticizes values of the society and it exposes some hurt. The book is a good tool for the reflection on ingrained and mistaken human beginnings. The General Inspector. In a village of the interior of Russia, administered for political incompetent and corrupt, it hurries the news that an inspector is to arrive, in order to establish a syndicancia. He/she/you appears an outsider that, confused with the expected visitor, he/she passes taking advantage of the situation. Until when will the farce last? In The General Inspector, Gogol he/she makes a satire of the habits and of the morals of the Russian elite in the century 19. Tristao and Isolde. The angry horseman Tristao wins the giant Morholt, it kills a terrible wild animal and it conquers the Princess Isolde of the gold hair for the King Marcos of Cornwall. But, for an irony of the destiny, Tristao and Isolde they fall in love. The Beggars. The youth Jean Valjean is condemned to 19 years of prison by robbing a bread. When leaving the jail, it adopts another identity and he/she becomes a prosperous entrepreneur. Pursued by Javert, an obsessive inspector, he is forced to reveal your true name and it is arrested again. Will Jean Valjean get to escape this time? The Storm. Prosperous, an old Duke of Milan knowing of the magic, of the arts and of the science, and your daughter Miranda Veo to live at a charmed island, after a conspiracy among your brother Antonio and Alonso, the king of Naples, that deposed him/it. In that island, before dominated by the witch Sycorax, they find the deformed and savage Caliban, the witch's son, an aerial spirit arrested by her inside a tree. The island will serve as stage for a great passion, a fire-proof, suffering, betrayal, madness and regret. Dorian Gray picture. The series Reencontro presents the masterpiece Dorian Gray picture, only romance of Oscar Wilde, one of the most famous authors of the century 19, delegated temporarily to the forgetfulness by your disturbed life. Your production became only recognized in the second half of this century. A beautiful youth takes conscience of your beauty and of your youth's value after having your painted picture. Impassioned by the own image, he/she wants to stay eternally young and, mysteriously, he/she has your assisted desire. The Ghost of Canterville. A family American, modern and practical, to the turns with a ghost that insists on astonishing her/it in aristocratic England. A fireworks that feels the center of the universe. A cruel boy, of mysterious origin, and it releases path for the redemption. A to be deformed that falls in love with the more beautiful woman and noble girl from Spain, believing to be corresponded. All those creatures are characters of 4 stories of brilliant Oscar Wilde, gathered in this volume. King Salomon's Mines. In the boundaries of Africa, a hidden fortune in a cave is kept by an immortal witch, that is to service of the cruel King Twala. 3 English in search of a missing person wrap up in the hunt to the fabulous treasure, facing all types of dangers, native hostile, wild animals, and the rigidities of the climate. The General Inspector. This history happens in Rusica, but it could have happened, or until being happening, in any other country. Writing for the theatre, it was taken to the stage in 1836, causing scandal in São Petersburgo's discharge society. The mediocrity and the corruption of the public administration had never been so clearly exposed and in such hilarious way. Frankenstein. Victor Frankenstein is a youth that dedicates your life to a great project, to create and to give life the one to be. When it reaches your objective, he/she gets scared with the result. In this English classic they are questioned the prejudice, the ethics, the solitude, the passions, and your pulses and, above all, the limitless pretension and the human being moral unpreparedness. The Doctor and the Monster. Strange occurrences in a barbarian crime affect London. The tracks lead a certain Mr. Hyde, sinister man, and of ignored origin. Why Dr. Jekyll, one of the more respected illustrations of the city, does it protect him/it? Moby Dick. Captain Ahab's touching peripecias and of the crew of your ship in search of the gigantic whale that dominated the waters of Pacific. An impressive report on the Revenge, the obsession of a man to the encounter of the Destiny and your fight against the forces of the Antaureza. If you want more videos just like it, give him up thumb and share it with your partners. Don't forget to subscribe in my channel. See you soon. Bye. Bye.